Parents, welcome to another episode of The Journey, a podcast intended to educate, equip, and entertain you as we talk about important issues facing our families. PCA is a Christ-centered, biblically based, and family-focused community of committed believers doing life together. We hope the information you hear on this podcast informs and inspires you to be a better parent. Welcome to The Journey.
All right, parents, welcome back to the podcast, The Journey. I've got our girls volleyball team and Coach Ryan Mitchell with me. We're talking about all things girls volleyball because this team is insane. Am I right, ladies?
Yes.
Yes, I know. It's exciting. Yeah, it's exciting. I'm really thrilled to have you guys here. Just excited about the opportunity to watch you play, to see what God is doing with this particular team as you guys get to play together. We talked about how two of you, this will be the last time this year playing with the four of you that have been playing together for a long time. Next year, you get to go make new friends at a new place, which is exciting. But you guys have been together a long time, and it's exciting to have you here at PCA. It literally might be one of the best athletic teams we've ever had at our school, right? Julius Randall may say that you all aren't the best athlete, but anyway, we'll put that aside. Jaden's like, what? Maybe we are. So, super excited about it, but I want our school to get to know y'all. Right, so we're just kind of doing a parent podcast. So here's the deal. Coach Mitchell, why don't you start a little bit and just kind of tell us about this group of ladies that you've coached for a while and tell us something that the parents need to know about them.
Yeah, I mean, I think the record speaks for itself. Last year, this group was 40-1 and pulled off a magical season and capped it all off with a state championship. And USA Today naming them, the mythical national champions last year. And so with this team comes a lot of accolades, and people that don't know our team, I think they see us in the paper and they get all those things. But I think what they don't get is just how truly amazing this group of kids are. When you get to coach this kind of talent, it's not uncommon to have divas or cocky kids or people that are maybe arrogant or full themselves, but nothing could be further from the truth with this group. I mean, the four that sit here today are possibly four of the best kids in the country at what they do. And then if you extend that beyond to a lot of the kids who aren't here today and who are signed or committed to go in college, and it's just a wonderful makeup of amazing athletic individuals, but that are using the sport and what God's blessed them with to further his kingdom. And that's, I don't know, it's just next level excitement when you talk about that. I've had a lot of good volleyball teams before, but these kids, they're amazing.
Yeah. So, ladies, why don't you introduce yourself to the parents so they can kind of get to know you a little bit. So tell them who you are, what grade you're in, right, what year you are, what position you play, and then kind of like how long you've been at PCA.
Sorry. So my name is Kari Spears. I'm a junior, and I've been at PCA this is my second year, and I play outside hitter.
All right.
My name's Jaden Livings. I'm a senior. I play a pin hitter outside right side, and I've been here since 7th grade.
Okay, so wait, a pin hitter?
Like both pins, so outside and right side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you hit with both hands, right and left?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh. Does anybody do that? Sorry, just no. You're either a left-handed or a right-handed hitter.
Yeah.
Okay. No ambidextrous or amphibious hitters?
No.
Not on purpose.
Not yet.
I'm Michaela Young. I'm a senior, and I've been here since 7th grade.
All right. And you are position?
Oh, I'm an outside / right side, kind of.
I'm Jillian Pitts. I've been here since my freshman year. I'm a junior, and I play libero.
Libero. Now, libero is an Italian word, by the way, so we just have to focus on that for a second. Do you know what libero specifically means?
Free.
Yes. Oh, you're so good. Liberty, right? Which is kind of cool. So the libero is the only person who gets to, come in and go out. I don't know how it works,
sir.
but...
It's we don't have to, sub, formally. We can just run out and run on for anybody, other than front row players.
So what's your primary specialty as a libero? Is it, digging, setting, serving?
So it's really controlling the back row, the defense, and the passing.
Okay. Very good. And then these are your hitters.
Yes, sir.
All right. I love it. Yeah. Who's our setter for the team?
Camille.
Okay.
Camille Edwards and Taylor Cook.
Taylor Cook. Yeah, that's awesome. So your job is to get the ball to them and control that back line.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you have a nickname. Everybody calls you G, right? What about the other three? What do we call them?
Michaela, I call her Mick. Jaden, I call her Jay. And then Makaria, I call her Kari.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Oh, let's talk about, we have a tournament coming up. ESPN has noticed you guys and wants to come to PCA and put on a little showcase of apparently the 4 best teams in the country. So that's coming up October 6th. It's a Friday evening. Who wants to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think I'll start. It's a really exciting opportunity for us. Last year, they did it. They put on the same event and brought in 4 teams, and they hosted it in Chicago.
Okay.
And so this year they picked 4 of the top teams in the country, and they fly them to a local venue. And this year they've decided to highlight our program and bring them into Prestonwood. And so a team from California will be coming in, a team from Kansas, and a team from San Antonio will be all coming on our Prestonwood Christian Academy campus on Friday, October 6th. And they will be hosting the first game at 7 o'clock Central Time, and it'll be shown on ESPN Plus. And then they'll be highlighting our game versus Cathedral Catholic. We'll be playing them at 9 o'clock Central Time on ESPNU.
Okay, fantastic. Now, Jaden, you're a senior, right? And do your sisters play with you?
Yes, they do. I have twin sisters.
Tell me about that. What's it like to play with your sisters?
Okay, so not even gonna lie, I think it was like our scrimmage against Lovejoy at Lovejoy. It was not like, we were super excited. Don't get me wrong, but like it was like weird. Like I've been looking up like ever since I was in 7th grade. I'd be like, oh crap, I get to play with the twins when I'm a senior. Now that senior year's here, first week it was like weird because we were like, the age gap is definitely there. Like they're only 14 and I'm 17, turning 18.
Yeah.
So it's like,
you got to train up the sisters, right?
Yeah, they do the same
Are they
thing
a little
to me
slow
too.
and kind of picking up on where you are? And I'm just kidding.
No, I've been really excited to play with them. So now that I get to, it's like trying to make the most of it because it makes me sad.
All right. Now, you've committed for next year, so let's talk a little bit about that. What does that look like for you? Where are you going?
I'm going to the University of Southern California. Go Trojans.
Why did we throw it out there? Why did we choose that?
Okay, so I wanted to go to somewhere where if I didn't play volleyball, that's where I would stay.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Because I know a lot of people go for volleyball, but for me, especially these past 2 years, I didn't want to have volleyball be my priority all the time. So I feel like USC and Brad Keller, my coach, is very like flexible with that. Like, he understands that volleyball isn't number one, and it's always been important to me to make sure that I have other priorities over that. And USC's campus is great, and it allows me to do that.
Yeah, it's Parade campus. That's awesome. Now, Michaela, you're a senior as well.
Yes.
You've committed. Where are you going?
I'm going to TCU, Texas Christian University.
Yes, and why TCU?
I really didn't think that I wanted to be close to home at first. I was like picking places that were as far away from Texas as I could be.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you want to make your parents fly all over the country to watch you play?
I wanted a different scenery. I wanted to get out of the Texas feel just because I've grown up here and I was born here.
Totally.
And and then I went to TCU on my official visit, and just the coaches and the environment and all the players, they just changed my whole idea of wanting to go far. And like right then and there, like the second day of my visit, I was like, this is the place for me.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. That's awesome. Kari, you've gotten some accolades, right? And I know talking about yourself is difficult. So does anybody want to talk about Kari? I think last year you were the Gatorade Texas Volleyball Player of the Year.
I totally
what does that even mean? Does that mean you're the best volleyball player in the country?
It means the best player in Texas, supposedly. I'm surrounded by great players every day, so it's like hard for me to even...
Which is great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard for me to even like take that title because I feel like there's certain things that everybody does like as good or better than everybody else, but it's definitely an honor to have that title, and it was super cool. I was super excited when Coach Mitchell told me that they had nominated me for it, so it's just super great. It was really exciting for me.
Yeah. Now, you haven't committed yet.
No.
Okay, so we won't talk about that, even though we could put in some plugs for some teams that we'd love to go see or play at. But, G, you have committed as a junior. Tell us a little bit about that. And why have you committed as a junior? Is that a normal thing to do?
Yes, sir. So really, it's like with volleyball, it's different. So it's like every 20, like it's like each class goes June 15th of your sophomore year going into your junior year.
Okay.
You get like you can actually finally talk to coaches. So then the coaches will like go at you with like all these offers, and like you can finally commit then. So that's why it's like a bunch of people are like committing like right now. But really, I chose Houston because kind of like what Michaela said. Like at the beginning, I was like, I don't want to stay home, like but then I kind of like explored my options, and then when I went there, I kind of was just like, I just like loved it. Like I loved the people, and I loved like the whole like environment of like the volleyball like competitiveness in the gym and everything like that. It's like everything that I was looking for, and also it's not like it's too close to home, but it's not like too far from home. So it's like my parents can always come see me like if they need, but it's like not too close, So yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so let's talk about being student athletes. I just grabbed you guys out of lunch, so normally it'd be taking you out of a class and things like that, right, to come in here. But what's it like to be a student athlete, just growing up where you're kind of balancing, right, being the student, being the athlete? I know that at the level of athletics that you ladies are at, it takes a lot of time and a lot of attention and a lot of just physicality. So I know you guys are tired, and volleyball, right? I mean, we mentioned this before. You guys play club volleyball, so it's not like, hey, I'm in season and out of season. You guys are, in a sense, kind of always in season. So what's it like, just from your perspective, to be a student athlete, and how have you balanced that?
It's mad hard.
It's hard. Okay. You gotta, okay.
It's actually super difficult, like especially last year, because I don't know, junior year was just so hard for no reason, and it was kind of, I knew I had to keep my academics in priority, and I didn't have a lot of balance with it, so my mom definitely stepped in and tried to help me with that. But I think now going into college this year, I've stepped it up a little bit, because going into college, it's like a choice to go to class, so it's definitely...
This sounds like a conversation.
It's definitely very hard.
It's a choice to go to class. This will be interesting. Okay.
It's on you. Like, it's on you to go to class in college. It's not like your mommy's driving you to school anymore. It's like you have to decide the commitment towards it. So.
Yeah. Very good. What about being here at PCA, right, where you're at a Christian school, and so you're not at your neighborhood. There's people coming up from all over the area. What's it been like to be a student athlete and a student here at PCA? Most of you have been here your whole high school or longer, so you've probably been at other schools before that. So what's your experience with PCA?
I would say like academically, it's like it helps you like when you get to college, because I feel like as a private school, the academics are like expected to be like raised, and so I feel like even though it's hard for us now, like as student athletes, to juggle volleyball and it's kind of just getting us prepared for college, when maybe college will even be easier than what it is now. So I feel like it's good for us that
it'll be easier if you go to class.
Yeah, I think it's good for us to experience like hard times and kind of like learn how to manage our time with the time that we have, so that when we get into college, we'll be okay with that.
Yeah, I definitely think you have to find a balance, and it's been a little harder, I feel like, this year, because we've been traveling so much for tournaments. So it's been like finding that balance of having school, having your own personal time, volleyball. Finding that balance can be difficult sometimes, but I feel like for the most part, most of my teachers have been very accommodating with me and letting me make things up or come in if I need extra help. So I think having a good relationship with your teachers helps a lot with that. So you guys are kind of like on the same field. You guys know what's going on.
Yeah.
So it's definitely hard, but I think having some time management will help you a lot with it.
Now, you mentioned travel. Okay, so Texas is a big state, but when you girls talk about travel, you're talking about the country. Where have you been so far this year?
So we've been to Round Rock, and it's kind of close to Austin. Yeah, it's in the state. And then we went to Rose Volleyball. That was Round Rock. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we've only gone – we were supposed to go to Tampa, but they had that hurricane.
That's right.
And so we decided just not to go because we have a tournament coming up in Vegas this year.
Okay.
So we've only been in Texas as of right now, but – we are going to Vegas this week.
Yeah. So it's normal for y'all to travel outside the state, even go to other places and some major tournaments in the country.
Yeah.
Right. So that puts a lot of pressure on you, keeping up with all your schoolwork and things like that, especially that junior year.
Yeah.
Because really, the senior year, you've kind of committed. You've already kind of had things set. So junior year, it's a tough year to do that. Coach, just from the standpoint of the girls at the school, right? How do you maintain kind of keeping them up with their schoolwork and all the different things that they have to do? Because you want them to be eligible to be out on the court, but you also want them to learn good study habits and to be successful in life.
Yeah, the good thing is most of these individuals in front of you, and most of them on varsity, they've learned at this point the importance of school and as an avenue to get where they want to be, and they're driven. I think sometimes we gloss over the fact that we've got 8 commits that are going to Division I universities this year, and we just gloss over that fact. Instead, that speaks a lot to the fact that they can take care of their business in the classroom, the fact that they can travel and still keep up with school, the fact that they can, play club year-round and still balance being a daughter and a sister and a friend and a volleyball player and all these things, all these roles that they have to play. And these girls do such a good job balancing those things that normally what I do as a coach is just the reminders, the talking to them about that. Okay, what this is going to mean is this, and then providing opportunities to get better. But Kari mentioned how great the teachers have been at Prestonwood. They've been awesome at just being proactive with our kids about getting them into class and tutorials and studying so that when we do travel, it's not as big of a deal. We're leaving Thursday for Vegas, Durango Classic. It's a huge tournament that's probably the top-rated tournament in the country, and 7 of the top 12 teams in the country will be there this weekend. And so it's a good opportunity for us to see what we've been practicing on and compare us to everyone else in the country. But with that comes travel, and with that comes the responsibility for them to take care of their classwork. And there'll be times that other teams, you'll see them on the sideline like playing games, and our kids are studying in books and reading books, and they do a really good job balancing that.
Working on their capstone.
That's right. That's right.
Have you chosen your book for capstone?
No.
No? Okay.
No,
sounds like I've got some more work to do then.
Got to get working on that. But we're early in the season.
Okay.
So let's talk about we're actually in the field house where you ladies play. Let's talk about just game nights for you, right? What's your favorite part? What's kind of the fun? Because I'm just going to tell you, you all look like you have a ton of fun when you play, right? So what's the favorite part of what it's like for you to be out there playing?
I'm not even gonna lie, I'm nervous before I play every single match.
Okay.
Like, every single match I've ever played, I've always been nervous. So like having a lot of people be here and I'm gonna have to get used to it.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes I just pretend that they're like not there, and then just like there's such intense eye contact on the court, and it's like low key creepy, but it's kind of like just helps me zones in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it just helps me focus like on the actual game. So
you get a little nervous. Do you eat before a game?
I try to.
Okay, so I couldn't eat before my games.
See, I don't either as a coach, and I don't know why, but then I'm starving at 9 o'clock at night.
I would get so nervous before games, and I couldn't eat before games. So
unfortunately, the drive-through sees me more often than not on a game night. It's not good.
Whataburger.
Yeah, that's right. It's not good.
Best part of the night. Yes.
Before every game or before every home game, we either go to like Chipotle or Piata as a team together. So it's really fun getting to like all like get in cars together and drive and go eat, and then we come back here and then we all like get ready. We're in the locker room playing music. We watched the JV game before. It's really fun. So
I love that.
I think my favorite part is probably the crowd. Like I like the crowd, and I wouldn't say I get nervous. Like honestly, like I don't really get nervous like unless it's like a really really big game. Like I understand, but like volleyball has always been like my safe spot away from like my outside life. Like it really like gets me focused like off of anything outside. And so I think that the crowd is like what I love. Like I love to see my parents, and I love to see all my friends, and like them get to see like me and like what I've been working on and why I miss all these late night like things, just because this is what I've literally spent my life doing this, and I want to like show people like that that's what I've like lived for. So
yeah, people can't be at practice to see all the hard work they put in. Yeah. So for me, like game nights, you get to see all your family and friends, which you've been working so hard on.
It's the showcase.
It's
right?
the showcase.
That's what we've been working on.
I know as a coach, it's like so much fun putting in a game plan. And then on that night, it's like the test. It's like, does the game plan work? Has everything we've been working on, come to fruition? That's a great feeling.
Yeah. What would you say to the young athlete, right? So, young athlete who's wanting to put in that time and wanting to be at the level where you ladies are at, right? What kind of recommendations would you give them?
I would just say, sorry. Well, I have 4 younger siblings, so I kind of just say I learn a lot from them. I'll start there.
Okay.
So as like a young athlete myself still, I think I would just say not to take volleyball so seriously to the point where you're just not having fun with it anymore, because we've all played at a young age. Do you know what I mean? So since that young age, we played because it was fun. We weren't playing to win a national championship.
Right.
We weren't playing to like get reps or whatever, to get like.
You just played because you enjoyed it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I definitely tell my
keep the love
sisters
going.
to like just make sure that you're having fun with it and not to be stressed out about it.
Yeah, I think it also like truly is a commitment that we all have like made from a young age, just because I mean doing the whole club and school route, all 4 of us plus another girl together, and we've been doing it for such a long time. I think it is, I mean, it's a bond. Like being on a team, it's a bond, and like getting to play with us 5 together for all year round, it's made us all like really trust each other, but we also kind of get sick of each other sometimes, and we have to learn that we need space from each other sometimes, because we do see each other at school all day, and then we go to practice at night, and then we have tournaments on the weekends. Sometimes we see each other all 7 days a week. So I think it really is just a commitment that we all have put together to like all together pretty much, because I mean it is all 5 of us together all the time.
That's a lot, actually.
So it's just like a trust, honestly. A team, you have to have trust in a team, and I think we have really created a trust with each other. So,
Yeah, I think not taking it so serious early on is a big thing. Or even like we all started really early, like when we were really young. So even like starting later, I find that like a lot of girls can get burnt out by the time they're our age and they've been playing for that long. So just finding ways to keep enjoying it and finding reasons that you keep enjoying it. Like for me, a lot of it is my teammates, like playing with them. It's just so fun, like bonding, like Mick said, you're together all the time, and sometimes you get sick of each other. But it's almost like in a way with your siblings that you would get sick of each other. So I think just.
But you don't get sick of your siblings, right?
No, never. Never. No, but yeah, just finding time to enjoy it and cherish every moment you have is super important, so that you don't like lose your joy for the sport.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, what would you say to parents? Here's the deal. Now, hang on. Think about it for a second. It's a parent podcast, and I know sometimes parents in the stands, and in volleyball, the parents are like literally right next to you. And sometimes I've seen some parents, and they kind of get a little crazy. What would you say to parents, and not just your parents? I'm not saying what would you say to your parents, but what would you say to just parents in terms of like when you come to the games, or if you have a young athlete, what's the best way to kind of encourage and inspire them as well? So give me some wisdom for the parents.
I'm not even gonna lie, there's been moments where I've heard some parents like say some not so nice things.
Seriously?
Yeah, like what's it called at nationals? I was sitting with
you want to stop and say like, hey?
No, but it was weird because it wasn't our team. We were just watching the game, and we were sitting like by a group of parents, and they were just talking crap about all their kids, other people's kids.
Really?
Yeah, but at PCA, it's completely different, because I actually love our parents so much, especially the younger classes' parents would always come up to us after the game talking about how good we played, knowing that we played terrible. They're just super nice about everything. They're always encouraging. Our assistant coach, Courtney Reese, she has like such a mom attitude that she's like, oh, do you need a sandwich? And so are all the other moms. So it's just a very nice environment to be in. They're very encouraging, already.
That's good. Any other wisdom for parents?
I just tell them they don't have to be so tense all the time for their daughter. I feel like sometimes parents get more nervous than their kids.
Yeah.
And then they like project it onto the court or on the team, and not even intentionally or like trying to be rude. Just like sometimes they get so passionate about it and so like excited about it. But just like they need to enjoy it too, like watching us play. So just relaxing, because they don't have any control once we're on the court on what we're doing. So just relax and enjoy it, and while you're watching your kid play. And also, like Jaden said, we have really great parents on our team. I have to shout out Miss Michelle, Michaela's mom. I call her the ultimate team mom. She just does everything. She's like, whatever you need, she's got it for you. So
that's sweet.
Yeah, our parents at PCA are great. So
I think going off of what she was saying about like the parents being like tense, I also find it like hilarious. Like I just not really noticed that Coach Childress, his daughter's on the team. And so I find it really funny that after I come off, like, and she goes on to serve, he's sitting on, like, the bench, like, praying, and he's, like so nervous. Yeah. And I never noticed that until this year.
I'm not just a coach, I'm a dad.
Yeah. And I always thought it was just so funny because he was like, come on, Caitlin. And I just think but I also think it's cool that, like, he gets to, like, see her successes too, like, from the bench and be able to, like, help her through that. So I just think that's really cool.
All right. Anything, if we come to one of your matches, one of your games, right, anything we need to be looking for, right, just as a spectator, right? I mean, just you guys are playing at a really, really high level. Some of our parents maybe have never been to, a volleyball game, right? And just kind of like, what should they be, what's the energy like? What should they be looking for? What do they pay attention to?
Positive energy.
Positive energy. I love
Obviously.
positive energy.
I think it's just impressive to see the athleticism that's on display in our matches, and knowing the hard work and the hours and hours that goes through all this. It's not just snap a finger and all these girls are here and they're committed. It's literally the commitment from not only them but their parents since the age of 7, 8, 3 to 4 practices a week, hours and hours in the car, waiting for their kid to be done with practice, trying to find something to do while your kid's working out, bringing the sandwiches, staying up late at night, the car rides home where you're crying because you didn't play well, and the excitement that happens after big championships. I don't know. To me, that would be a recommendation I would have for any parent, is just whatever journey your kid is on at that moment, just lean into it and let them experience those things, because failure is a part of athletics.
So let's talk about your parents in that regard. What was it like for your parents when you didn't have a good game or something bad happened? How did your parents respond to that?
My dad, when I was, I think I was 9. I was not that good when I was 9, not even gonna lie. I was always on the bench, like, with my arms folded, pouting because I didn't get to play for, like, 2 seconds. So he's always been tough on me, and I don't think it's just because I'm an athlete. I think it's because I have an older sister. Yeah. And, like, I think now that I'm older, I'm definitely more aware of that the stuff that I do, all 4 of my younger siblings are watching me. So my dad's always been very heavy on me being a leader, not for just my teammates, but for my siblings. And with the twins being on the team this year, I'm trying to, like, I'll always ask him after the game, like, is there something that I did that you didn't like? Like, just let me know so that I can be, like, better myself. So he's always been very heavy on that.
My parents, honestly, I was going to be a basketball girl. Like, I grew up playing basketball. Okay. But then, like, I just found volleyball and loved it. But, like, really, like, my dad only knows basketball. None of us knew volleyball until I started playing. And so I don't know, I think my parents are truly, like, supportive. Like, my dad was hard on me when I played basketball, like, definitely, like, he would yell at me after games.
But a little bit more chill with volleyball.
But he's chill because he doesn't really know what's going on. So he's like, as long as you don't shake the ball to the wall, then you're doing good. So
that's why they say girls navigate toward volleyball, is because their parents don't know anything about it and they can't lecture them on it. So
that is funny.
I think from, like, an early age when I, like, decided that volleyball was, like, my thing, I think my parents always told me, like, it's okay to, like, not love it like you used to. Because, I mean, Kari talked about it, like, a lot of people get burnt out. I mean, we've been playing since we were, like, 8 years old. Right. People get burnt out. And, like, one thing that they tell me is, like, it's okay, like, if you have, like, an off day or a bad day. Because, like, it's an everyday thing. Like, you're going to be, like, you play volleyball practice, you probably think about it. We all probably think about it every single day. Yeah. I know people call, like, club volleyball, like, a job just because, like, we're practicing, or then we go to, like, travel tournaments, like, work trips is what we call it. But yeah, I think my parents have just said, like, from an early age, like, if you don't love it anymore, like, we still love you. Like, we're okay with you not playing volleyball anymore. And I think that really helped me, like, decide, like, okay, I do actually love volleyball, just because my parents, like, fully supportive of me. After the games, if I have a bad game, they'll be like, hey, like, what do you think you did wrong? Like, they'll kind of walk me through it, because it really is something that you have to learn from. Adversity is, because, I mean, we all have bad games. We all have days where we just don't feel like anything's going right in our lives and, like, on the court. And just learning from it is something that my parents always want me to do. So, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I put a lot of pressure on myself, like, more than my parents do. So they know that, so they don't really, like, if I have a bad game, like, they know I'm already beating myself up for it.
They don't add to it.
Yeah, they don't really add to it. They more are just, like, kind of like Mick said, talk me through it. My mom is kind of more like, this is what I saw. And she kind of asked me about it because she doesn't know volleyball that well either. She's learning more. And then my dad is like, he's more intense, but like me and my dad kind of think the same. And so it's kind of like just talking with myself about it. But I don't think they ever put like a lot of pressure on me to feel like I have to do this or this is what defines me as a person. Like they always tell me that's not what defines you. You're not just a volleyball player. So I think that helps with just managing when you might not have your best game, or when you do have your best game, that's still not who you are.
So good. That's good. Good information. Anything about Coach Mitchell that our parents need to know?
Oh, yes.
Coach Mitchell.
Oh, my God. I'm just kidding. Coach Mitchell is actually like one of my favorite coaches of all time. I think you came my sophomore year. So it was definitely different because everyone's like, oh, you guys have Coach Mitchell? Like, he won state for Lovejoy like 52 times. And I was like, oh, no big deal. And I'm a sophomore, and there's like this all big-time coach coming in. Yeah. And it's not that I haven't dealt with other great coaches, but Mitchell was just different because going into the new year, it's not that he didn't get any time to like know us, but he got right to it because we didn't have a lot of time. You know, clubs this season's only like 2-3 months at like most if you put it all together. So I think with Mitchell just coming in and him always asking like, what can I do better? He's always trying to better himself. He'll talk about it, like he'll whisper it to himself like he looks crazy, but he's always trying to better himself, which I think is what makes him one of my favorite coaches and one of my favorite people.
I think what really stands out like for me is like he acts like our dad. Like he loves us like no matter what, no matter our performance, like, and that's what I've always like loved about him was like he's always like he's my favorite coach like ever because I feel like I can talk to him whenever, even if he's mad. I feel like I can talk to him because I feel like every time I go up to him like I can put a smile on his face or whatever. But I just really think that he's approachable. I can always talk to him, and he also like wants the best from me. So even though he's yelling at me, he just wants to get the best out of me. So he's really just doing it for me, and so I feel like that's why I love him.
Man, I'm gonna tear up here.
Yeah, he like truly cares for us as humans, like off the volleyball court. I feel like more than any other coach I've had, he's like he probably knows the most about my personal life, and that's really like special, I feel like, and it says a lot about him because you are with your club coaches for about like 8 months out of the year, a really long time, but just getting to know him outside of volleyball is super important. I feel like it's what leads us to have success because we have that personal relationship. He knows how to talk to us individually, and he knows how to get the best out of every single one of us.
I love it.
Yeah, I think we kind of hit a little bit of a rough patch this year. Like just like a couple weeks out of this year, we kind of started to go a little downhill, like with team wise and everything. Yep. And like he chose to hold us to like the higher standard that we needed to be held to because we were slacking on our own standards as a team, and so he brought like that leadership towards us and just said, guys, like if you guys don't want this, then I won't give it to you, but I'm still going to because I know how great y'all are, and I know that y'all need to be held to this because of the dedication and leadership that all of us do show. And so he was like, I will be the ringleader on this one because y'all need to be held to this higher standard. And we all needed that. Like we all, that was what we needed in that moment. And he knows like what we need in the moment all the time. So
that's awesome. Coach, well, any last words as far as for our parents about the girls and your team in particular?
Well, I think if you haven't had a chance to come out and watch the girls, I would say come out and see. Tickets are on sale already right now for the October 6th event. We're going to sell out. It's going to be on national TV, so it's a big deal for women's sports to be on prime time, and so for us to be highlighted in Prestonwood to be highlighted in that way, it's a huge deal. I think that as a father of a young daughter, I have boys too, but I have a 7-year-old daughter, Tatum, and I don't know, just getting the opportunity to be in the gym with these 4 girls and the other 13 that are on the team, I just can't imagine. I just hope that I can raise Tatum to be like these 17 young women because they're pretty special, which they're special because their parents have invested and put that time in them. And so Prestonwood is working with these 4 girls. They're surrounded by like-minded individuals who really push each other, who are dedicated to the craft of volleyball, who seek after God, who find their identity in other things other than the sport they play. And I just hope that for my own daughter too. And so I think my recommendation would just be get out and see them, support them, because it's pretty special. It's not every day you get to have kids like this. So.
Yeah. Well, it isn't every day that you get to have students like this, student athletes. You guys are amazing on the court and off the court. In the school, you're tremendously well respected from students and from teachers alike. So I just want to say thank you for the work that you guys are putting in, for the effort that we see, and then just for your enjoyment of it. I mean, I love how you guys love each other, how you love your coach, how you love your teammates, and how you love your community. So well done, and I hope you guys have a really, really successful year in everything that you do.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
taking
much.
some time with us.
Yes.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you for investing the time to listen to this episode of The Journey. Please take a minute to share with friends and family who will also benefit from this valuable resource. And don't forget to rate and review this podcast on your favorite podcast app. It is truly our blessing and honor to walk with you on The Journey.